York Fed leans into the central bank digital currency. Experts question its benefit. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York has partnered with the Bank for International Settlements on a new project that may bring a central bank digital currency to market. They wouldn't be partnering, putting all this effort and all these talks, and if they weren't going to launch one, they're gonna. So the center will work to design, build, and launch new financial technology products and services for the central bank community. So Federal Reserve, central banks, they're gonna do it, and it's gonna start in 2022, 100%. So let's keep going here because there's so much news that I don't want to bore you guys with all the finite details. I'm just gonna give you guys the main headlines and maybe a couple things on it. So Bank of International Settlements experiment finds CBDC, central bank digital currencies, to be effective in cross-border settlements. A group of central banks successfully tested the use of a wholesale CBDC in international transactions between financial institutions. And you guys remember the central bank policymaker toolkit from the World Economic Forum, which is issuing this fourth industrial revolution and Great Reset. And we know that one of the keywords we always want to look out for, wholesale CBDC. So actually, let me just do XRP because most relevant for wholesale central bank digital currency, crypto assets designed for inter or intrabank payments and settlements, JP Morgan coin and XRP. So there we have it. Right here, they said that they found the BIS, Bank of International Settlements, the big dog, find central bank digital currencies to be effective in cross-border settlements. And then it says wholesale CBDC successfully tested the use of a wholesale CBDC in international transactions. It screams XRP, screams it. So there's a ton of stuff in here talking about a prototype platform testing the use of multiple central bank digital currencies for cross-border settlements, the UAE, China, Thailand, Hong Kong, a bunch of other countries as well too. And there's probably a ton in here, but due to the sake of time, I don't want to go into the finite details. But you guys know the article names. You can look it up, and you can request if you want me to really dive deep into it. So BIS Innovation Hub partners with the Fed to support analysis of digital assets. We just went through that. And then we could go to here. Ripple joins the Digital Pound Foundation, designing a path for a CBDC future forward. So that was just a reminder because Ripple is tied up with the UK and it's tied up with London because this dropped October 14th. I remember in September, I was showing you guys that, yeah, Ripple's likely working with the central bank of the UK, working on a central bank digital currency. A month later, this news drops, confirming it. So now that we know UK, London, Ripple, they're tied up heavy together. This is huge news, absolutely huge news. And there's videos in the Stargate Tweets Discord group about it, them explaining what they created. But Bank of London debuts as the first new United Kingdom clearing bank in 250 years. If something happens for the first time in 250 years, that's big news. And it's a new clearing bank. It's not just a regular old bank. It clears money across multiple banks with global plans. They're trying to go global. So the Bank of London launched on 30th of November at the UK 6th Principal Clearing Bank, becoming the first in a long time with immediate global plans and the second in 250 years as a brand new clearing bank. It attained unicorn status upon debut at 1.1 billion valuation. And the world of global transaction and clearing banking needs disrupting. Fewer than 100 banks control the flow of money in, around, between, and out of the UK, the EU, and the US. So they have this this patented new technology for payments and settlements, and the Archine global payment system infrastructure, domestic and cross-border payments, clearing and settlement schemes, and networks are the critical, if not well understood, cornerstone of the global financial system, but they're costly, fractured, and friction-layered. Messaging, payments, and liquidity are all on different rails, encumbered by a chain of correspondent banks. Talking about the same issue that Ripple talks about all the time, exacerbated further by the systematic risk of liquidity intermediation and failed payment efficiencies. So they're basically creating this new, the Bank of London creating a new payments, clearing, and liquidity and settlement platform in country, in region, and cross-border, allowing for the first time the continuous transfer with near instant, non-reversible settlement finality and the immediate availability of fund disbursements 24/7, 365 days a year. Only way you can really do that is through blockchain technology. So the Bank of London is working with the market to strengthen its current payment network and bank rails via its next generation payments product. An atomic settlement innovation, evolving the legacy models to mitigate settlement risk and unlock liquidity. Unlock liquidity by leveraging its patented innovations. Unlock liquidity. Where have you heard that before? Flare Spark token is launching smart contract platform for unlocking value, unlocking liquidity. So I believe Flare is tied up in London as well too. In the UK, they're big there, and I believe they are stationed there as well too. XRP, Ripple, they're partnered up with London. I think this has something to do with it. It very much seems so based off of the verbiage in here. Talks about foreign exchange transactions, and for the first time, free from intermediary risk. So like, what gets rid of the intermediaries? Blockchain distributed ledger technology. What provides on-demand liquidity? Ripple XRP's on-demand liquidity product. So if you go to their payment network, on-demand liquidity, eliminate pre-funding and unlock trapped capital. So unlock trapped potential liquidity with a digital asset XRP. So all the same verbiage there. And this needs definitely more digging deep on because there's a ton in there. But I have a feeling Ripple, XRP, maybe Flare, Spark token is somewhat involved in this, because they say here, the world of global transaction and clearing banking needs disrupting. Fewer than 100 banks. We went through that. So just under $2.5 quadrillion is fundamentally controlled by a small club of banks. So they're trying to disrupt that. $2.5 quadrillion opportunity, and they're using this new technology that cuts out an intermediary, settles transactions instantly 24/7, more securely, unlocks liquidity and value. If it smells like a rat, it's a rat. So that's what I'm seeing right there. Let's keep moving forward.
There's a secret right at the heart of banking, and it's been hiding in plain sight for decades. And that's that the very banks who are meant to serve the global financial system have been clogging it up needlessly with layers of complexity and risk. The Bank of London started with one simple question. The system is broken. How do we fix it?
One of the things that we all learned from the financial crisis was the degree of interconnectivity of the entire financial system. Large bank, small bank, retail investor, institutional investor, retail client, the man, the woman on the street, going to work every day with their 401ks declining. All of a sudden, the financial system, we all became aware, was completely interconnected. And as a result, risk could transfer in an interconnected way. And since then, tremendous gains have been made in capital and liquidity and vast aspects of the financial system. Having said that, there is a massive amount of work to be done in a complex, nuanced part of the market that deals with payments and money transfer.
Payments is really a shorthand for a whole range of related activities and transactions. The most critical of these is clearing and settlement.
The clearing bank market is probably the area that even people that have been in banking for years don't understand. It is really the heart and the lifeblood of the banking system. But it's also one that has really been marked by inefficiency.
The global payments, clearing and settlement systems are not currently fit for purpose. These systems are too expensive, they take too long to come to settlement. There isn't an alternative.
Messaging, payments and liquidity are all on different rails, and cross-border payments are encumbered by a chain of correspondent banks.
And all this is exacerbated by systemic settlement risk and the real burden of failed payments.
Until recently, this was a closed club.
Just between the UK, the EU and the US, less than 100 banks control 75% of the world's spendable money. That's approximately $2.5 quadrillion annually.
In the UK alone, there are £750 billion worth of transactions processed every day. And in the main, these go through just 5 banks.
I often call this the nightclub issue. In banking, the reason the markets work is because everybody else is there. The reason the networks work is because everybody else is there. And so yes, if you go to a nightclub and you got lousy music and lousy drinks and so on, you still go because everybody else is there. And right now, most of the payment schemes and the ways that we transfer money were built in the 70s, 80s, 90s and only modestly upgraded.
There's been a bunch of fintechs and other participants who've done a really good job innovating around the edges, but they're really stunted because to bring real innovation, you have to innovate in the core. And you can only do that if you're a clearing bank.
But even they really struggle with this. It would be like trying to change the engine of an aeroplane mid-flight.
They have a tremendous amount of complexity because they've been built up and amalgamated over time. You just can't replace everything if you would.
They've got no reason to change. The customer can be frustrated, but they don't do anything about that. Because the customer needs other things. They need credit, they need reporting, etc.
They didn't innovate for that reason. They kept their systems antiquated. They didn't move things in real time, and they thought they were going to have this monopoly for a long time. And frankly, we live in a free market society, and in a free market society, problems get solved by innovators.
I first met Anthony through a friend, and the minute he walked through the door, he made the problem very specific to me. He says, Mark, every time you transfer money, that's a frustrating process and a costly process, right? I said, yep. Or we're going to build at the Bank of London a product that is going to take that problem away. And we're going to be able to instantaneously transfer money and revolutionize a significant component of the financial services industry. And I said, man, if we can change that, we have a winner on our hands.
The Bank of London is not just another new bank. We're the world's first purpose-built global clearing, agency and transaction bank, the likes of which the world has never seen before. From next-generation treasury, payment versus payment versus delivery, right through to atomic settlement. And that's just a fraction of what we bring to market.
In essence, we've built a platform that allows us to leverage the existing networks, yet provide a tremendous amount of additional capabilities.
Our unique patented innovations cover the principal risk factors across payments, clearing, settlement, compliance, and disbursement.
One of the first things that got us excited is the ability to take costs and reduce it by 80, 90%. And in general, people at the beginning tell you, you know, we're kind of happy with what we have, until you show them what you could have, right? And when you show them what you could have, which is faster, better, stronger, cheaper, then fundamentally people go, hang on, yeah, the door's wide open, come and help us change.
The Bank of London will transform the financial industry for everyone's benefit.
You can deliver to your customers the products and services that you actually want to. You're no longer constrained by the limits of your current banking partner.
By working with us as a customer, you're going to be able to service your customers better, be able to address the movement of money between all of the major corridors, be able to move that money in real time, be able to apply the best of breed in terms of compliance and related technology on top of that to make those transactions more transparent, to make them better for regulators, and to make them faster.
I think we're at a point right now where people truly understand the criticality of the need for safety when it comes to payments and clearing.
Settlement risk is the largest risk within the financial industry. This is a huge addressable market and a real opportunity to disrupt.
The Bank of London is uniquely positioned to provide a truly disruptive solution to a market that is begging for a solution.
We are going to finally bring disruption to the very fundamentals of banking, making it safer in the process.
We have a very sound long-term vision to build the brand new yet long-term sustaining clearing bank of the future. And I would say innovation is woven into everything we do, psychologically, technologically. It's the lifeblood of our business.
One of the many failures of the global banking industry is they only really ask themselves one question. And that question was, where will the future of banking take us? When they really ought to have asked themselves, where will we take the future of banking? That's what we're here to solve at the Bank of London.
If you wanna be so cheese, know me down for sending subs. I'ma keep the case clean, I won't shroud it in no love. Getting laced at the seams, turning powder into dust. I need space for my team, it's getting crowded in the club. Now